What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? AcesBlackstar in the building, back again with another video. Look, listen, I did a poll on Facebook and Instagram, and I asked this one question: which is more difficult to say? A, I apologize. B, I need help. C, I love you. Comment below which one is most difficult for you to say. Let's jump into today's video. Let's go.
Somebody say, "Hey, what's your alarm clock?" My passion. My dreams wake me up. I don't need no alarm clock.
Now, how does it feel to achieve such success?
I've never really viewed myself as particularly talented. I view myself as, slightly above average in talent. And where I excel is ridiculous, sickening work ethic.
Yo, it's your boy Young Cash. Give a shout out to AcesBlackstar. You already know what it is. CEO, boss man, AC Music. We out here.
So, surprise, surprise, a lot of people said I need help. And this is difficult. This is very difficult. Growing up, it was hard for me to ask for help as well. But if y'all know, y'all been following my story, I was in special ed, so I always had to ask for help. It's stuff that I just didn't understand. But when it comes to regular life situations, people have fear of judgment. People feel weak. People feel like, they don't want to be rejected. They don't want to be reliant on other people. They want to be independent. This world today, it promotes independency. So I can see why it's difficult for people to want to ask for help. But being independent means that you are working all alone. Now, I know people probably heard the saying that two is better than one, whether it's, brain power, physical work, or whatever the case may be. If the world is promoting independency, that means they are promoting everyone to work individually. And you might be able to get there faster alone, but you'll go further with a team. So I want y'all to think about that. While the world is promoting independency, they might be promoting you to get there fast. However, you're not going to go very far. We have divided ourselves because we don't want to ask for help, because we want to be independent, because we care about what other people think about us. Think about that. Me personally, I am a firm believer that either you're asking for help, number one, or number two, you are watching other people's mistake, which enables you to learn how to do it another way, or maybe the correct way, so that you don't have to go through what they went through, if that makes any sense. Okay? So a lot of you guys might not want to ask for help. Here's a solution for you. Really pay attention to how other people fail, because that can allow you to move forward. All right? And somebody failing doesn't necessarily mean they're a failure. So you're able to learn from them either way. But now you know a way that it doesn't work, which allows you to kind of be a step ahead when you are ready to take action, because you get to take off where they left off instead of starting from scratch, starting from the beginning, right? So don't be afraid to ask for help, man. We all need help. Nobody's perfect. Nobody is a know-it-all. Nobody can do all, be all, and is all. So just make sure that you are asking the right person, because lately there's been a lot of haters. There's been a lot of people that will tear you down. There's been a lot of so-called friends, fake friends. And these might be individuals that you've asked for help in the past, and they've brought you down, made you feel stupid, made you look stupid in front of other people. All of these are kind of like fears that we have. It is important to pay attention to who you ask for help from, because they can make you feel stupid. But in reality, I want you to just cut all of the noise out, because at the end of the day, it's really about how we think about ourselves. Yes, somebody made you look stupid in front of other people, but the only reason why you feel like you looked stupid is because you feel stupid, right? It's because of how your brain is wired. how you feel about failure, or how you feel about asking for help, or how you feel about other people judging you. When you kind of let all of that kind of go, like, I don't care what people say about me. I don't care what people think about me. I don't care how people feel about me. That does not affect me and how I feel and how I'm going to continue my day. When you kind of have that attitude, not saying that you don't care about these folks or you want to do something to harm these folks. I'm simply saying, don't worry about it. Don't care. Like, it's beyond you. How they think about you is really just a image of themselves. It takes one to know one, right? So if they feel like you are stupid, maybe it's because they're stupid in that area. Or maybe they're stupid in another area. So they want to make themselves feel big by making you feel small in that area because they know about that specific thing. Now, let's say you bring up something else like finances or credit or something that's actually important and they don't know that much about it. Now, who are they? You see what I'm saying? But see, here at the AC Squad, we're not going to make anybody feel small just because they made us feel small at some point. If anything, we want to encourage people because how you treat other people when they put you down shows how much character you have as a person. All right. So I just wanted to go over that, man, because it's difficult. Like I said, it's difficult. But once you kind of get these philosophies under your skin or these ways of thinking in your mental, it becomes easy to ask for help. And here's another reason why you might feel like it's a burden if you ask somebody for help. You waited too long. What do you mean, Dre? You waited too long to ask for help. So the same mindset or the same thinking that got you into the trouble or the situation or the confrontation with someone is the same mind as trying to get you out of that same situation. If the mind got you into the situation in the first place, it might not have a perspective that's going to be able to get you out of the situation. Therefore, asking for help before the situation is escalated can prevent you from feeling like you're a burden on someone else, right? Let me give y'all a real quick sample. If I say, man, I need a little help paying my rent, only need $25 right now, but I'm afraid to ask anybody for help because I feel like they're going to think I'm broke or they're going to think that I don't take care of my responsibilities or whatever. And these thoughts could be accurate. I'm not saying they're not accurate. However, these are not the things that you want to be thinking about because right now you only owe $25, right? Let's say you don't ask anyone and next month that 25 got a late fee for every day you were late. That's a whole 30 days. And now rent is due again. And now instead of you owing $25, you owe $125. Now, you know, $125, depending on the people that you hang around on a daily basis, that might be a lot for them. They might not spend that much in a day, you know, and you just let it keep going on. Now it's way too much money to ask somebody for. But then it turns into 300, then 500, and now you're about to get evicted. You, your child, or your children, maybe you have multiple children or whatever the case may be. And now all you have is your vehicle and food because you've been saving the money or not saving the money, but holding on to money, trying to scrap up the money for the rent, but you just always came short with the late fees included. So now you got leftover money just, you know, for gas in your car, for food, but now you're about to get evicted. Now you owe over $1,000. You know, a relative don't have an extra $1,000 because their philosophy is, hey, if you couldn't pay your landlord $1,000, how you gonna pay me $1,000? So who's really gonna let me borrow $1,000? And now you want to start asking for help because you are at the last string. You are about to be in a vehicle, evicted. You and your children are about to be sleeping in the vehicle, turning the heat on for air or for heat. And you're just at the point where you're at the lowest and it's late. It's late in the journey. It's almost impossible for you to get help now. People are struggling to pay their own rent. How can they pay their rent $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month and come up with an extra $1,000 to give you for your rent? That's the point where it's too late. But if you catch it early, you might be able to avoid all of that just by putting your pride to the side and asking for help, ladies and gentlemen. We don't ask for help because we're weak. We ask for help to remain strong. And I'm not saying that you should be asking everybody that you love for money. I'm not even talking about financial help. I'm talking about all type of help, not just financially help, because it's a lot of folks that won't let people borrow money. And the reason why is a lot of people have adopted the rule, if I can't lose it, I can't let nobody borrow it. So if somebody can't afford to lose $1,000, they're not going to let you borrow it. Or maybe they just don't have it. Sometimes people just don't have it. And that doesn't give you an open line to ask people who have money for money, and for you to feel some type of way if they don't give it to you, even though you know they might have it and they have their reasons. Some people treat people just like a bank. You know, everything was all cool when it was broke, when y'all was both broke, doing things together, you know, just calling each other, telling jokes. And then it switched to you only call for a Cash App. You only call for Apple Pay. You only call to borrow something. That gets tiring. So I just wanted to kind of go over that with y'all, man, because it's very, very important to know that it's okay to ask for help in any situation. You just have to get out of your own head and stop thinking that everybody thinks less of you because you're asking for help. Nobody knows everything. So it might be one little thing that you don't understand that could prevent this from happening in the future. But if you never ask for help, you'll never understand. If you don't know about credit cards, ask for help. If you don't know about credit, ask for help. If you don't know about anything, like right now, I'm struggling with eczema. I got eczema all on my face, under my eyes, on my forehead, all of that, all on my leg. I've asked myself for help because I don't really know anyone personally struggling with eczema, but I have sought help from other people on YouTube because I'm not afraid to research and ask other individuals if they've ever had it. Do they know anything about it? And I really only want to take advice from people who has been through what I'm going through currently, because they'll be able to give me the most accurate information possible. Not saying that I won't take everybody's input. I might not apply everything that everyone says because a lot of people just talk. And I like getting information directly from the source. So take that into consideration when you're asking for help too. The person that you're asking for help, are they knowledgeable in that area? Because if they don't give you the help that's required, but they give you the lecture or the lesson so that it can prevent from happening again to you, make sure that that person actually has been through that situation. You know, some people don't have that lending hand or that extra income to give you, but they can tell you how they messed it all up or how they got out of a situation that you were in. Maybe they just aren't all the way out of that situation as of right now. So they can't give you that pulling hand up because they're still on the ladder trying to get up themselves. All right. So real quick, let's just go over some quick things that people struggle with just so you guys can understand. And maybe I can bring this into perspective so that you can know that this is the thing that's holding you back from asking people that you love or people that you know or your best friend or family member, brother or sister for help. All right. So number one, we already talked about fear of judgment. You feel like people are going to judge you if you ask for help. And people may judge you. People may talk about you to other people, or people might just, feel some type of way because you asked them for this specific thing. So what? It doesn't matter. I would rather ask someone for $25 than $125 or $1,025. You see what I'm saying? So it's something so small. I'd rather ask for the small thing. Feeling inadequate. That is just basically you feeling less than. You feel like you're less of a female or less of a male because you asked someone for help. And it might feel like a big thing to you. But the person that you're asking, it might be so small. It might not even affect them at all. When people ask me for credit help, what is credit repair? What is credit? How to make up credit? Like, how do I increase my credit? That stuff is so small to me. So if you ask me for it, it's not a big deal. Like breaking it down in 15 to 20 minutes is not a big deal for me. I can do that. And I'm just speaking, personally. You might not need help with that, but I'm just saying, like, other things that you might ask other people, it might be small to them. All right. Fear of rejection. Of course, nobody wants to be rejected. Nobody wants to be told no. Nobody wants to hear that. However, you'll never get a yes if you never ask. All right. No's are just going to lead you to the yeses. That's it. You have to get rejected in order to the thing that you want to get. And your fear of rejection can be holding you back from trying other things in your life. Not even asking for help. Like on a whole nother level, you could be afraid to do anything because you're afraid of rejection. You could be afraid of quitting your job and becoming a full-time entrepreneur because you feel like the people around you are going to reject you, or they're going to think some type of way about you or judge you. Like, we talked about in the first thing. But anyway, rejection. Get over it. You're going to get rejected. In relationships, people get rejected. Going to job interviews, people get rejected. You're going to get rejected. Point blank, period. Number 4, self-reliant mindset. You feel like you are less than, or you have to rely on other people. It might be one situation. One situation does not determine if you're not self-reliant anymore. So you can go ahead and get over that. Just because you ask for someone, just because you asked someone for help one time does not mean that you're not self-reliant anymore and you can't focus on just being kind of independent. Like, yes, a person might rub it in your face and say, oh, I helped you with this, and that is what led you to this. And, I gave you $50 and that's how you was able to get your apartment or get your house, stuff like that. People that rub little stuff like that in your face just to make themselves feel better about themselves, those are low vibrating individuals. You don't want to hang around them too long because that starts to rub off on you. So yeah, if somebody does something for you or give you a hand up, I don't want you to feel like how you can't rely on yourself. Even if they are trying to rub it in that they did this and that for you. It might have took you $1,500 to get this apartment and you were short $100. You have $1,400. They gave you $100. If they didn't give you the $100, would you still have got the apartment or house? You could have. You could have hustled it up another way. You could have sold some shoes that you had or whatever the case may be. It could have still happened for you. So they might have made it happen for you, but if you are a strong individual, you would have made it happen anyway. So don't let their one thing determine if you are self-efficient or not. That's just crazy. Number 5, previous negative experiences. Like we spoke about before, you might have ran across somebody that you asked for help or assistance or advice, and maybe they gave you some bad advice or, gypped you in some type of way where you felt like it was unethical. And now you are afraid to ask other people for help. Or maybe you tried to rely on somebody and maybe they weren't reliable. So you can't ask them to pick up your son or your daughter from school anymore. You can't ask them to, do stuff that you might need someone to do. But again, you have to really, really, really pay attention to the people that you're asking these favors for. because I'm quite sure that you know right off the bat who's reliable and who's not reliable. So you can't blame them when you ask an unreliable person to do something for you that you know they can't do consistently. Maybe 1 or 2 times you can come through, but you're not a reliable person. So I'm not going to ask you really, really important things. You have to understand that. And those people exist in your life. You just have to know that. And if you don't have reliable people around you, get around some other people and find you some reliable friends. Not all your family and friends, or not all of your family and your friends that you grew up with are going to be able to give you that type of friendship that you thought you might have, or that close bond, or everybody's positive and everybody's uplifting. You might not have that with the same friends you went to school with. It's time for you to get out here and meet some other people. Meet people that are interested in things that you're interested in. The only thing that makes family family is who you came from. But at the end of the day, family is individuals. To me, family is individuals that are looking out for your best interests. I know we all got cousins or brothers and sisters that will call you only when they need something, that will only look at you in a certain way if you are providing for them, that are always looking on your downfall or always hating on you. Family do that as well. So don't limit who you feel should be loyal and unloyal or should have your best interests at heart. If you don't have those individuals in your life, you need to go out and meet them. And that's just point blank, period. So next one is fear of vulnerability. You might think, hey, if I ask for help, somebody is going to feel like they can take advantage of me. And you could be accurate 100%. However, not everyone you ask for help will look at you as a vulnerable individual. You have to pick and choose, ladies and gentlemen. You don't just ask everybody for help, because there is an individual out there that will take that into consideration and try to use it against you. Okay? So, lack of trust. I mean, we kind of already spoke about that. You might not want to ask for help because there's a lack of trust with the people that you asking for help from. And simply, those are individuals that you just can't ask. Get more trustworthy individuals in your corner, but make sure that you are a trustworthy individual yourself. Because if you're not, people that are trustworthy aren't going to want you in their circle. Therefore, you won't be able to build a trustworthy circle, because in order to be in one, you have to be one. It's just how it works, you know? Haven't y'all ever experienced being the person that people call, being the person that everyone leans on, being the person that is the go-to, but most of those people don't have anybody that they can go to, anybody that they can lean on, anybody that they can call when they need help for anything, mental help, physical help, financial help, no kind of help. You're just a person that gets called on. That means you need to open your circle and get other people like yourself in your circle that you can call. This is how you remain strong, because if you don't, you will be drained, because everybody around you is pulling at you. They're pulling everything that you have out of you, and you're drained, and you have no other place to go and fill up, because you have no one like yourself in your circle. You have everyone just draining you of your time, energy, and resources, but nobody to give you time, energy, or more resources. So add to your circle, man. And then last but not least is fear of dependency. You might feel like, hey, if I ask this person for something, now I have to depend on them all the time for it. And that's not true. If you have someone that you want to ask something for or from, as long as it's not something that's permanent, you don't have to continue to ask this person over and over and over again for it. You have to make the decisions necessary so that you can maintain your lifestyle without having to ask this person every day for it. For example, I have a little dog. I have a little Yorkie. His name is Millie. If I had a 9-to-5 job every day and I had to work from 8 to 5, but I didn't want to leave my dog alone, I would have to take my dog somewhere and rely on somebody to watch my dog every single day because I made the decision to buy the dog. But if I go back and I say, hey, before I purchase this dog, am I going to have to rely or depend on anybody to watch this dog every day while I'm at work? Because I know I work 8 to 5 every single day. And if I get the dog, I don't want it to be alone. So maybe I need to make a better decision and just not get the dog unless I have someone at my house that can watch the dog every day while I'm at work from 8 to 5. Okay? Because it won't be just my dog. It'll be our dog. You get what I'm saying? So as long as you know how to think out your plans of action, that will prevent you from being dependent on other people in certain situations permanently. Now, like I said, you might have to depend on somebody once or twice. Maybe you got to go to the doctor today, so you need somebody to pick up your son or your daughter from school or whatever the case may be. That's when you have to go back into your circle and say, hey, do I have anybody trustworthy? Do I have anybody reliable? Do I have anybody that I could depend on? How are these people going to feel about me because I'm in a hospital and my daughter is at school or my son is at school and I need somebody to pick them up? You see, like all of these questions, you're kind of creating problems before they're actually problems. So it's best to just ask. And then if it's a problem, deal with it then. Don't create the problem first. But I just wanted to go over this, man, because like I said, I did a poll on Instagram and on Facebook, and a lot of people said that asking for help was the most difficult thing that they could do. And I kind of wanted to just shed a light on why you might think that, number one, and then why you shouldn't think that, number two. Like I said, I struggled all through elementary, middle school, and high school in special ed. I had to ask for help every single day. And I felt stupid. Why? Because the people around me made me feel that way. But as you grow, as you learn, do more personal development, do more reading, listen to more audiobooks if you don't like to read. Discover more about yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, and you will discover that you're not as stupid as people think. You're just not as knowledgeable in a specific area. History is just not my big thing. But counting is. So because I lack knowledge in history, am I stupid? You might think so. Maybe because you are really, really knowledgeable in that space. But are you as knowledgeable in the space of money and counting and deductions and budgeting? You might not. But you don't hear me over here calling you stupid. You might not be able to save 6 figures. I have. You don't see me over here calling you stupid. If anything, I got my hand out trying to pull you up so that I can teach you what I know so that you can become more knowledgeable in that space instead of calling you stupid, because you're not. So if you just can't find anybody to ask for help, ask for advice or a perspective on something, I don't know everything in the world, but I've been around for quite some time and I've been in a lot of situations. I've spoken to a lot of individuals. I've helped a lot of individuals. I've been through a bunch of different issues and problems. I might be able to shed some light on your situation. I might be able to give you a different perspective on how you can think about things. So I'm here. If you want to contact me, check out my Instagram below. Send me a message. My line is open. If you want to ask for anything you don't feel comfortable asking other people about because they might make you feel stupid. And because I'm a stranger, my quote unquote judgment shouldn't matter as much as your significant other, your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, or whoever you might deem have a lot of value in your life and you are really afraid of their perspective of you or your decisions. So I'm a free stranger. My ear's open. I'm a listening friend. If you want to share or ask, I'm here to listen. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch y'all in the next video. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Let's get it. AC gang. Shake it for AC, hand on the shoulder. Black Star, make a real, don't wanna hear show. So if you with it, AC, baby, go and do the most. Bring that over here, go and bend it over. Shake it for AC, hand on the shoulder. Black Star, make a real, don't wanna hear show. So if you with it, AC, baby, go and do